What's up everybody, it's Sean here, and I'm here today to give you guys an early look at the upcoming Bodega collaboration with New Balance on the 610 silhouette. First off, I want to give a huge thank you over to Bodega for sending me over this pair early. The tagline behind this shoe is called "The Trail Less Taken," which in many respects is a nod to the fact that the 610 silhouette is a hiking-inspired, trail-ready running shoe. So this collaboration is set to drop on June 9th for a price of $160 US, which is roughly $220 here in Canada. The style code for this shoe is ML610TB1, and this continues New Balance's push of the 610 silhouette following the Joe Fresh Goods collaboration that dropped not too long ago. So the New Balance 610 V1 originally released back in 2012, and we've been seeing recently in sneaker culture, brands have really been pushing these hiking inspired shoes. So it's really no surprise that Bodega's given the opportunity to collaborate on their very own, considering a lot of their past collaborations with New Balance have had a similar earthy sort of theme. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box. So this comes in a natural colored cardboard box. We have Bodega and New Balance co-branding along with the 610, the silhouette number, and then we have similar co-branding on the side of the box along with New Balance branding on the top lid, which is done in a mix of green and purple, which has a very retro and outdoorsy vibe to it. And you can see the tag here, it has Bodega and New Balance 610 co-branding as well, just if you guys need this for a legit check or something like that down the line. So diving into the details of this shoe, as we start things off with the toe box, this is covered in this very tightly wound nylon material, which is done in this teal sort of tone. So I haven't tested personally if this is waterproof, but considering this is supposed to be a hiking shoe, I would imagine it would make sense if they at least made this water resistant. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have this rubberized overlay in black, which gives you protection and a ton of durability for the front end of the shoe. And then on the lateral side, we have the triangular cutout, exposing this reflective silver 3M layer underneath. Moving downwards, you can see we have the shaggy suede in gray, and attached to this we have these woven eyelets, which is done in purple on the lateral side and more of an orangey red on the medial side. And we have another layer of hairy gray suede covering the top two eyelets, along with more of a flatter suede in this mustard yellow tone, which covers the very top eyelet. Beneath this, we have more of that turquoise colored nylon, and then overlaid on top of this, we have more of a flat suede, which is also done in black. And here you can see we have New Balance branding on the lateral side, along with this oversized New Balance end logo, which is again constructed out of that reflective 3M finish in silver. And when you compare this to the medial side, we have a similar New Balance logo here as well, but within it we have these purple colored hits, which gives it a nice splash of color. Moving downwards, covering the top portion of the ankle collar area, we have a dark gray colored open style mesh, and stitched on top of this we have another reflective layer, and here we have 610 branding on the lateral side. Underneath this, we have this jagged overlay of flat black suede with these perforations found within it, and underneath this we have the shaggy dark gray suede. And you also notice on the medial side of the shoe, the overlay here is constructed in suede, but it's constructed in this mustard yellow color. Covering the heel, we have another layer of that turquoise colored mesh or nylon, and then overlaid on top of this, we have this gray colored suede, along with this contrast purple stitching running down the center, and we have a woven pull tab extending from the top, which helps you put on and take off the shoe a bit easier. As far as the laces go, so these come with 3 different lace options. The standard default lace are these very stretchy thin laces, which crisscross starting from the edge of the toe box, and it loops through a metallic lace lock. But if you're not feeling these laces, they also give you these rope style laces in a mix of black and 3M. But if you want to give the shoe more contrast and an added level of color, they also give you another set of rope laces, which is done in a mix of black and mustard yellow. Underneath the laces, so we have the tongue, which is constructed out of that open style mesh in gray, and we have this woven strip running down the center and extends all the way to the top as another pull tab. And then the top of the tongue is covered in this gray suede, and it has this perforated finish to it. And then we have another triangular reflective 3M layer in the center. And here we have Bodega, New Balance, and 610 co-branding all together. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this pale purple colored textile. And then as far as the insoles go, nothing special about this. This is just your normal foamed lined insole. However, it's covered in this mustard yellow layer on the top, and stamped on the heel we have New Balance, Bodega, and 610 co-branding once again. So the upper of the New Balance 610 sits atop this midsole, which is constructed out of a combination of Absorb and C-Cap. So C-Cap, for those who aren't familiar with this, is basically a compression molded EVA foam midsole. So this is painted in a light gray on the forefoot and then a dark gray towards the back half, but this jagged portion on the heel, this is painted in more of a minty tone, which really stands out against the gray. And then finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so this outsole is primarily constructed out of a black colored rubber. And as you can see, we have this very aggressive trail appropriate traction pattern, and these spikes or nubs are painted in a combination of this mustard yellow, that minty or pale blue color, along with an orangey red as well. And this rubber is New Balance's endurance rubber, so it should stand the test of time and work for whatever terrain you're going to be rocking these in. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these 610s, and for those wondering about sizing, my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and Bodega sent me these in a size 10, and they fit me well in a slightly roomy but comfortable way. So to give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a size 10 in other New Balance silhouettes like the 2002R, 1906R, a lot of the made in UK models like the 991, 1500, and most of my 990 V2s and 997s as well, because I find that those two specific models, they oftentimes feel a little bit snug widthwise around the toe box area. And in comparison, I go down to a 9.5 or half size down in a lot of made in USA models like the 992, 993, and the 990 V3, V4, V5, and V6. So getting these true to size in a size 10, there was just under a thumb's width between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe, and overall the shoe felt very comfortable and it was a little bit spacious. So I feel like if you're in between sizes and you like a really snug one-to-one fit, you can probably get away with going a half size down. But for everyone else, especially if you're going to be wearing thicker socks with these for example, I feel like true to size should be perfectly fine. Moving on to the comfort, so surprisingly these were actually quite comfortable. My initial thoughts when I put this on feet was that it was definitely a lot more lightweight than I expected. I guess that's because of that C-cap midsole, and while it's not the most comfortable New Balance shoe I've ever worn, I could definitely feel some of that step-in comfort straight out of the box. So especially underneath the heel, you can feel some level of compression with this foam midsole, and while the forefoot wasn't nearly as soft, it definitely had some level of cushioning underfoot, and it wasn't firm underfoot whatsoever. But at the same time, this shoe had a lot of stability, which makes sense considering this is supposed to be suitable for all terrain. So I think even if you're rocking these casually, I have a feeling you'll be quite impressed and quite happy with how these feel underfoot. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, I thought it was decent. It definitely wasn't the best quality materials I've seen on a New Balance shoe. This pair specifically I believe was made in Indonesia, but at the same time the materials I thought were okay. The suedes had a nice decent feel to it, but considering this is meant to be a hiking or all-terrain shoe, it makes sense why there are a lot of synthetic materials on this pair as well. So with the meshes, the nylons, all that stuff, yes, it's going to make the shoe feel not as premium per se, but it's definitely going to make it more of a better performing and more effective shoe, and probably one that's going to be more durable as well. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, I thought this pair was solid as well. I had some minor issues with the stitching around the tongue, and the paint job on the midsole wasn't the best, but aside from that though, I thought the shoe felt pretty solid, pretty well put together, so I personally had no major complaints that I wanted to bring up. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. Like I mentioned in the beginning, this sort of hiking or trail-inspired shoe aesthetic seems to be quite popular these days for lifestyle or casual use shoes. I'll be honest though, this is a wave that I haven't caught on to yet. So a part of me when I wear these still feels a little bit odd. It doesn't really feel like it's my style. However, seeing other people wear these and seeing these on Bodega's promo images, for example, I actually think it doesn't look bad. I prefer this one over the Joe Fresh Goods 610. I just like this color palette a little bit more, and I think it works a lot better on the 610 silhouette compared to what Joe Fresh Goods did. But I'd be pretty surprised if these sold out on June 9th. Even though it's getting more popular, I still feel like the 610 is much more of a niche sort of silhouette, and I don't really think it's a silhouette that the masses can really pull off, or at least it hasn't reached that level of hype where everyone wants to try to pull it off. But for what it is, I think Bodega did a very solid job on this collaboration, and the 610 silhouette surprised me in many ways, being a lot more comfortable than I expected. So who knows, maybe down the line I'll begin to change my opinion, but as of right now I see this as much more of a pure hiking shoe as opposed to something I would wear very often, casually and just on the streets. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Bodega New Balance 610. What are your overall thoughts on the silhouette, this colorway? Are you guys fans of the 610? Is it a shoe that you can pull off casually? Is it something you wear for hiking or on the trails? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, follow my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Good luck for those who are trying to grab these on June 9th, and another huge thank you goes out to Bodega, and I'll catch you guys all in my next review.